All right, welcome back, boys and girls. So, today we're going to do our first lesson in calculus. I'm calling this Calculus Chapter 0, the Forgotten Pre-Calc sections. So, because of the way that last year ended, we weren't able to actually go through and really learn the trig stuff that we needed to in pre-calculus. So now we are going to do that now. Some of this stuff we actually learned in geometry. So this is our first forgotten pre-calc section. It's right triangle trigonometry. Recall from geometry that an angle, or any angle, is a figure that's formed by two rays with a common endpoint called the vertex. The rays are called the sides of the angle, and an angle may be labeled by the angle symbol, and the vertex. So these are rays. From B to A creates ray BA, and from B to C creates ray BC. Those two come together at the vertex, which is B. We can name this angle by calling it either angle B, or we can call it angle ABC. That should all be stuff that we learned in geometry. As a matter of fact, I know it was because, well, I taught you geometry. For the record, you can feel free to pause this video at any time so that you can catch up with the notes. I realize I just flew through that first definition of an angle, but you can pause the video at any time on your own and decide how long to keep it paused and all that stuff. An angle can be measured in degrees. We've done this before. This can take two different forms. You can either have decimal form or what's called DMS form. This stands for degrees, minutes, and seconds. Think of a degree as an hour in this sense. I hate that y'all ain't here and the bells are still going off. It's crazy. There are 60 minutes in an hour and 60 minutes in a degree. Same thing with seconds. There are 3,600 seconds in an hour and 3,600 seconds in a degree. So whenever we're doing these conversions, it's important to remember those things. A minute is denoted by this symbol here. It's an apostrophe. So it's denoted by an apostrophe, and it's 1/60th of a degree. A second is noted by a quotation mark, which is 1/3600th of a degree. Converting between decimal form and DMS. So if I start with the decimal, 36 degrees, I'm starting with DMS, 36 degrees, 15 minutes, and 25 seconds. If I need to write that in decimal form, what I actually have to do is leave the 36 degrees the same. That's my favorite part. And you do plus. Now there's 15 minutes there's 15 minutes here, so that's on the top, and there's 60 minutes in a degree. That's on the bottom. Plus, now we could do 25 seconds on the top, and then 60 minutes in a degree and 60 seconds in a degree, or we could just remember that that's 3,600 seconds in a degree. So we're really converting all of these to degrees. 15 minutes out of 60, 25 seconds out of 3,600. Let me bring up my calculator here. So I can put this exactly in the calculator, exactly as it's listed on our assignment or on our problem. 36 plus 15 out of 60, close your parenthesis, plus 25 out of 3,600. Gloria, you're late. When I push enter, that's going to put it perfectly in decimal form for us. So my answer is 36.2569, and then I'll do 4 repeating. That's decimal form. Fairly easy so far, right? So to convert this to DMS form, what we do is we leave the 48 degrees the same, like we have been. And then you take this 0.3625 and you multiply it by 60, because there's 60 minutes in a degree. I'm just going to move right down. And you'll see that what that comes up with is hold on while I grab my calculator here. It's even harder than when you're in the classroom. But what you're going to see here is if we take that 0.3625 and multiply it by 60, that gives you 21.75. So I have 21.75 now. But the goal was to get rid of the decimal points. So now I'm going to multiply this by 60 again. But I don't have to worry about the 21. So I'm going to get the calculator out of the way now. So now I've come up with my number of minutes being 21. I do 48 degrees, 21 minutes, that's seconds, 21 minutes, plus, and now you take that decimal, 0.75, and you multiply it by 60 again. When I do that, 0.75 times 60 equals 45. That's going to give me my number of seconds. So I have 48 degrees, 21 minutes, and 45 seconds. And that's my final answer for degrees, minutes, seconds form. Now I want you to try this example. So you should pause the video right now. And when you pause the video, you should try to convert this first one to decimal form. If you can't do it, then you can play the video and see if you can watch it, pause it again, and see if you can come up with how I did it. So you're going to try it yourself. If you can't get it, watch me do it. Then pause the video again and try it a second time. to see if you can come up with the answer. That's really the only way we're going to be able to get through this stuff and for you to learn it the best way possible. Okay, so I'm going to take this and expand it out now. 48 degrees plus 6 over 60. Remember, there's 60 minutes in an hour, 60 minutes in a degree, and then plus 26 over 3,600, because there's 3,600 seconds in an hour and 3,600 seconds, sorry, 3,600 seconds in an hour and 3,600 seconds in a degree. Almost said the same thing twice in a row. So now I'm going to put that in my calculator. Let me drag this over here so I can see. Just do 48 plus 6 out of 60 plus 26 out of 3,600. Push equals. That gives you 48.1072 repeating, and we can just round that off to 2. Moving on to the next example. Do the same process for this one. So we have 56.8934 degrees. I'm going to separate it out. I'm going to do 56 plus 0.8934 times 60. When I do that 0.8934 times 60, that gives me 53.604. So that's 56 degrees, 53 minutes. Then I do the 0.604 times 60. Do 0.604 times 60. You get 36.24. Now I still have a decimal here, but I'm down to seconds. So basically I can round off that 4, and that would just give you the 36. So it's 56 degrees, 53 minutes, and 36 seconds. So that's going to be our first assignment, is to do questions like this. I'm going to go ahead and post that assignment, so after you watch the video, you can complete the assignment and get it back to me as soon as possible. Remember, you have 3 days to complete assignments. However, I suggest that you do them on the first day. Do it while it's fresh in your brain, and I think you'll be the most successful, especially because tomorrow we look at something different.